position. We're going to open up the knees nice and wide. See if we can roll the hips underneath us so that they're spread nice and wide as well. We're going to make a nice wide base. And if it feels good, let's start to close the eyes and just drop in to where we are in this present moment. We're going to approach our practice today with playful observation and curiosity, a state of non-judgment, but more of a state of just observing how our body interacts with these positions. So while we're here, let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and exhale out through the mouth. We'll do this a few times, starting to deepen the breath down into the deep belly. Filling up the lungs like a big balloon all the way, letting the belly open up. And on the exhale, we're going to start to engage the center, so pressing the belly button to the spine. Allowing everything to start to engage around the organs. As we increase our breath, let's start to bring awareness to the face, softening the eyes, the cheekbones, the jawline, letting the tongue soften inside the mouth, letting all the tension in the face start to release. Moving down through the throat and the shoulders, letting go of that tension, feeling the back melt down. All the spaces in between the shoulder blades releasing. Moving down through the chest and the belly. Softening everything on the outside, all those muscles. Down through the hips, over the thighs, the knees, the calves, and finally out through the feet, through the arches, through the toes, through the ankle. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. Everything is releasing. Bringing some awareness to the spine now, to the back side of the body. See if we can align the spine with the back of our hips. So if we're poised forward a little bit, see if we can back that spine up and over the hips. And if we're leaning back, see if we can correct it, bringing it to the center. When everything is stacked nicely, we can allow gravity to take over instead of using our muscles to force ourselves. Taking a few more moments here, let's take the time, maybe bringing something to our mind, something to our mats today that we'd like to shift or change or start to manifest in our lives. Maybe something we've been meaning to bring some attention to and start, but maybe haven't had the motivation to do. Whatever that thing is for you, let's hold that space in our eyes, right behind our eyes and right in our heart space. Imagining all that we need to do and to be, to shift into what we desire. What will it be like to feel ourselves in that space? Bringing that feeling to our practice today, as if we already are in that spot, doing those things. So when we're ready, let's take one more deep breath in, really deep into the belly, and exhale really loud outward. Clearing the space one last time before we dive in. And from here, let's open the eyes nice and slow. And we're going to bring our spine, our sternum, and our belly forward. So inhale, we're going to arch the back, bringing our front forward. And exhale, taking the spine backwards, tucking the chin. Inhale, forward. Let's go at our own pace. Going forward and back, starting to wake up the spine. Bringing some blood flow, some energy there. We can go as shallow or as deep as we like. Maybe bring the chest all the way forward and all the way back, whatever feels good today. Yes. From here, coming back to neutral, let's go side to side. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. Good. And we're taking just our center and our chest and flowing through, keeping those hips on the floor if possible. Beautiful. Couple more breaths here. And when we're ready, let's start to circle the spine. Forward and over to the left. Breathing as we go. You can use your arms on the knees if that feels good. Press your way through. And let's switch sides all the way around. Still breathing the whole way through. Very nice. When we're ready, let's come back to center. We're going to take a deep breath in, lift the arms up. And exhale, we're going to fold over to the left side. So drop that elbow to the floor, reach the right arm overhead, and see if we can rotate the chest up to the sky. Pressing your right hip into the floor for a super extended right side. Good. If you want to add a little movement, we can rotate the chest downwards and back up. Adding a little flow, little bitty micro movements to explore all the space. Take one more deep inhale, and on the exhale, we'll come back up to center. Good. From here, let's inhale the arms up one more time, reaching. And exhale, drop that right side, elbow down, left arm overhead. Pressing that left hip to the floor as we reach over. Opening up the ribs. And as always, if it feels good, add a little rotation. So square the shoulders off and come back up. Exploring the space, all those transitional areas. Let's do one more deep inhale. On the exhale, let's rise back up, back to center. Inhale the arms up one more time. Reach those fingers. And exhale, we're gonna fold forward so we can walk those hands out if that feels good. Keep those hips on the floor and go as far as you can. Dropping the chest down and tucking the chin. Breathing deep down the spine, feeling all the vertebrae. When we're ready, let's slowly press our way back up to seated. Stack the spine. And from here, let's reach the arms behind us, pointing the fingers forward. Roll the shoulders back. And as we inhale, we're gonna arch the back, bring the chest forward, and look up to the sky. Feeling that space in between the shoulder blades. Breathing deep into the belly. Good. Take one more deep breath in. On the exhale, coming back up, finding our neutral space. And from here, we'll roll on to all fours. So spreading those fingers wide, allowing ourselves to tuck the toes. Press into all four limbs equally to engage the back. And from here, we're gonna rock forward and back. So back to the heels. All the way forward. If it feels good, we can go past the wrists for a little forearm stretch. And back, going at our own pace. You can tie the movements with your breath. Feel the connection between the hands and feet. We're going to take the knees off the floor, lifting the hips just a little bit. We're going to hold for just a second, engaging those thighs, and then slowly pressing those hips up to the sky, finding our downward dog. So lifting those hips, extending through the arms. If it feels good, walk those feet out. A little movement. Good. When we're ready, let's look up between the hands, walk our feet there, and find a forward fold. Spreading those toes wide, going as deep as we can, sending the hips up and away. Letting the neck and shoulders release downwards. If it feels good, you can shake the head yes and no, letting go of that tension. When we're ready, let's bend those knees just slightly. We're going to press our way all the way up to standing, rolling through the spine. Coming up nice and slow, finding our mountain pose. So rolling the shoulders back, opening up those palms forward, lifting from the head and chest. And from here, explore where your poise is, where the weight distribution is on your feet. So if we're maybe back in the heels, see if we can come forward to the balls of the feet. So our whole poise is now more forward, engaging the shins. When we're ready, let's inhale, sweep those arms all the way up. And exhale, swan dive forward, finding our forward fold. Inhale, let's lift to a flat back. And exhale, plant the hands. We're going to step back to high plank and find our chaturanga, lowering down to the mat. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, finding your downward dog. Very nice. Finding your own flow, finding your own expression of these positions. Good. When we're ready, looking up to the hands, walk or step between them, finding your forward fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, we're going to find our heart center. Pressing those palms together, engaging the back and center. Finding our forward poise. Connecting to our breath. On the next inhale, reach the arms up. We're going to send the hips back, finding our chair pose. Going as far down as we can today. Lifting that chest so that we lift up slightly. Yes. Breathe and hold. If you'd like a challenge, lift those heels off the floor. Finding strength in your toes. On the next inhale, drop those heels, stand up, reach for the sky, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back, and exhale, down. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. We're going to lower halfway. Squeezing those shoulders, finding strength, and lift into upward dog. Good. Staying here for a moment. See if we can lift the knees off the mat, pressing into the tops of the toes. Lifting through the chest. And exhale, send those hips back, finding your downward dog. If it feels good, we can bend those knees a little bit, straighten and bend. Find a little flow, find some movement. Explore your own body. On the next inhale, let's sweep that right leg up and back, finding our three-legged dog, pressing equally into all three limbs. And from here, let's bend that right knee. We're going to open up the right hip up towards the sky. So we're going to rotate the hips upwards, letting that right leg drape to the opposite side. Good. When we're ready, on the exhale, we're going to bring that knee back to square, bring it through, step between the hands, and we're going to come to a high lunge. So lifting up, keeping the heel off the floor, and finding our arms up to the sky. Beautiful. Lowering down as much as we can, stretching into this hip. From here, we're going to find a little bit of movement to test our balance. So on the inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up, lift the chest, and exhale, we're going to float the arms down and back, folding over the knee. Inhale, sweep it back up, and exhale, fold. Going at our own pace here, tying it with your breath, testing out the balance. Good. Keep swinging those arms, reach them up and back, finding the energy through the fingers. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, send them back. Good. From here, we're going to inhale, reach them up one more time. And on the exhale, we're going to take that left hand, we're going to drop it down to the mat, fold forward, and reach the right arm up for our twisted lunge. Finding our strength, finding our balance. Good. Let's take one deep breath in. On the exhale, let's bring that right arm down. We're going to square off. And from here, we're in our runner's lunge. We're going to drop the left knee down. Bring our torso up. And from here, leaning into those hips forward. Going as low as we can, getting a deep stretch into those hips. For a little extra stretch, we're going to take the right arm, reach around, and grab the left leg. Finding our breath, continuing to breathe. On your next exhale, let's drop the leg, unwind. We're going to bring our hands back down to the mat, coming back into our runner's lunge. Good. From here, let's come back up into our high lunge, so lifting the arms up. And when we're ready, we're going to try to step forward, keeping ourselves in this configuration. We're going to bring the left foot to meet the right, finding our mountain pose. Good. Let's bring those hands to heart center. Taking a moment here, feeling your legs, feeling the heartbeat, catching our breath, finding some stillness. On the inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale, down, plant the hands, step back to high plank, floating through our chaturanga. Finding our upward dog, lift the knees off the mat, and exhale, send those hips back for downward dog. Taking a moment here to connect. Come back to that mantra from the beginning of class. Hold space for that energy. When we're ready, let's go ahead and lift the left leg up, finding our three-legged dog on the other side. Pressing equally into all the limbs, stretching away. If it feels good, bend that left knee. Drape the foot over to the opposite side and open up the hips. Very nice. Breathing deep. On your next exhale, square off those hips. We're going to reach the knee forward, plant the foot down between the hands, and reach the arms up for our crescent lunge. So we're pressing into the feet, lowering into those hips as much as possible. We're going to add a little bit of flow here. So on the inhale, reach up and lift the chest. And exhale, we're going to float those arms forward and down and back, folding over the knee. And inhale, coming back up. Good. Going at your own pace, adding some flow. testing your balance. Good. Couple more times. You've got this. Use the energy in your fingers to help you balance. On the inhale, let's reach back up, coming back to neutral. And on the exhale, drop that right arm down. Lift the left arm up, finding our twist. Good. Listening to our body, taking care of what we need to do. And breathing through it all. Ready, let's take an inhale and exhale. We're going to square those shoulders off, finding our runner's lunge. Coming back up to a high lunge one more time. And on the exhale, lower both hands down, drop the right knee, and find our kneel. From here, we're going to lean forward into those hips. So going even deeper. Opening up that right side. Dropping in as far as we can. If we want a little bit more challenge, we can reach around with that left arm, grab the right toes and pull them towards you. Breathing. On the next exhale, let's drop the foot down, unwind ourselves, plant the hands. From here, we're going to tuck the back toe one more time, come up into our crescent lunge, lift the arms up. And from here, let's try to step forward with the right foot, finding our mountain pose. So bringing that foot forward and finding our heart center. Good job. Staying here for a moment, breathing. Noticing any changes, any shifts that may have happened in the body. When we're ready, let's go ahead and find our balance. So we're going to take the left leg up off the floor, lift the arms, and bring our legs to 90 if possible. We're lifting everything, coming up through the foot, up through those hips. Good. From here, on the exhale, let's fold forward. We're going to send the arms forward, send the leg back, and find our half moon. Finding our balance. See if we can square the hips off to our mats. Good. On the next exhale, let's drop that left foot down at an angle. Keep that right knee bent. We're going to find our warrior one. Good. Sinking down as much as we can, reaching overhead. When we're ready, on the exhale, open wide to warrior two, reaching those arms out. Good. When we're ready, let's drop the left arm down, right arm overhead for reverse warrior. Opening up that side body. looking up to the sky. Good, and on the exhale, let's pass through center. Drop the right elbow down to the knee. Lift the left arm overhead. Very nice. If it feels good for us, we can look up to the sky, past that left arm. Keep breathing, deep breath in. When we're ready, let's come back up to warrior two. And when we're ready, we're going to straighten the right leg. Reach out and over, finding our triangle pose. We can grab the leg, the floor, whatever feels good today. Engaging those legs fully, pressing into the toes, the balls of the feet. Beautiful. On your next inhale, reach those fingers further up, and exhale, we're going to drop both arms down to the mat. From here, we're going to keep the chest over top of that leg, and we're going to send both hips further back and fold forward. So both legs are straight as possible. Send that right hip back so that we engage the hamstring. Beautiful. On your next inhale, we're going to bend that right knee, lift ourselves back up into warrior one. And stepping the left leg forward, we're going to find our mountain pose. So transitioning all the way up, bringing our hands to heart center. Very nice. Let's take an inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back, and exhale down. Plant the hands, step back to high plank, lower through chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. Beautiful. Deep breaths in. Good. Walking those feet out. And when we're ready, inhale, looking up to the hands, walk our feet there, find our forward fold. Inhale, we're going to sweep the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale to heart center. Very nice. Let's do the other side. On the inhale, reach the arms up, lift that right knee, find our balance. See how high we can lift up and away from those hips. Flexing that right foot to engage the leg. Good. On the exhale, let's go ahead and forward fold, reaching the arms forward, sending the right leg back, finding our half moon. See if we can square those hips off to the floor. Ready, let's slowly drop the right leg down at an angle, bend the left knee, and we're finding our warrior one. Reach those arms up and overhead. Breathing deep, lowering as much as we can. On
the exhale, let's take those arms wide to warrior two, reaching the arms out to the side. Good. When we're ready, dropping the right arm down, lift the left arm overhead, opening up the side body, looking up to the sky. We're ready, let's pass through center, drop the left elbow down to the knee, and reach the right arm overhead. See if we can rotate the torso up to the sky, adding a little twist. When we're ready, let's inhale, coming back up to warrior two. Straighten the left leg all the way, and we'll reach out and over, finding our triangle pose. Grabbing wherever we can, whether it's leg or floor. And see if we can look up to that right arm. Deeply, sending both hips back, engaging the hamstrings. When we're ready, let's take an inhale and exhale. Drop the right arm down. We're going to square the shoulders off to the mat. And from here, keeping the legs straight, we're going to forward fold over that left leg. Elongating the torso as much as we can, extending the heart towards the toes. Beautiful, breathing deeply. When we're ready, let's slowly bend that left knee. We're going to inhale, coming up to warrior one last time. And when we're ready, bringing that right foot to meet the left, finding our mountain pose, bringing hands to heart center. Very nice. Taking a couple deep breaths here, allowing ourselves to feel the changes. Observe any sensations in the body. Taking our time, let's slowly, we're going to bend those knees. And we're going to find our way down to a seated position. So slowly sending those hips back. We can bring the arms forward if that feels good. We're going to try to sit all the way down to the mat without using our arms. So finding your way down all the way to a seated position. Very nice. From here, keeping the knees up, we're going to slowly roll to the back. Taking a moment, letting gravity help us release the muscles. Realign the spine. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths in this position. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Very nice. Starting to cool down from the practice. From here, let's grab those knees, bring them into the chest, hug them in, hold on to them, and we can roll side to side, massaging the low back. Taking those legs, we're going to open them out to the side. So putting our hands on the kneecaps, we're going to roll them away and around, making big circles. Letting those hips release and open. You can change directions. Ready? Let's bring the knees together. We're going to straighten the feet all the way up to the sky. Holding the backs of the legs, we can flex those toes back to the face, engaging all the leg lines. So from the hips all the way to the toes. We feel those muscles working. We're welcome to keep them right here, or if you want to go for shoulder stand, we can start to lift the hips off the floor and roll the toes up over the head. So going only as far as our body allows today. We can also place the hands on the mat if that feels supportive to us. If you want to try, you can bring the toes all the way up over the head and place them on the floor. You can also lift those feet up all the way overhead for full shoulder stand. When we're ready, we're going to slowly roll our way back down, taking care of all of our parts, rolling the back slowly. Good. From here, let's take those knees one last time. We're going to lift them up, hug them into the chest, and then reach past and grab the big toes. Keeping those knees bent, we're going to lift the legs out to the side for happy baby. Opening everything up, rolling side to side if that feels good. Taking a moment here to just relax, release, doing any last bits of movement we'd like before we conclude the class today. And when we're ready, let's go ahead and drop those legs. We can go all the way to Shavasana, our final pose, letting those legs release long. We're going to take a moment of silence here to integrate and to listen to our bodies. some life back to our bodies. Let's wiggle our fingers and toes. Bring everything back to the present. And taking our time, we're going to roll onto the right side. And slowly making our way back to seated. And take a few more moments here to come back. Sending ourselves some gratitude for taking the time, spending some time on yourself, giving yourself some energy and some care and some love. Thank you all so much for joining me today for practice. Namaste.